Hello and welcome to another episode of Backlinking, the PKM podcast. I actually was able to do the name right the first time in this one. But in today's episode, we are talking about AI, and I think I'm going to title this something like Are You Tired of AI Yet? Because I, like everyone else, and probably you as well, know the benefits of AI and what we can get from it. And we have a lot of applications actually doing great things with AI, like Tooz has Tooz Pals, which is a cool integration of AI. A lot of applications have that kind of like new way of thinking now that we have this technology, like Structured is another one that. It allows you to talk out your plan, your daily plan, and then you get to see, or it does the planning for you based on what you say. So if I say tomorrow from 2 to 4, I'm going to film a YouTube video, it will put that into my daily plan, and I really like that. Another application that does a lot of things with AI is Tana, which recently released. There are a lot of great ways of using AI. And then we have that other side of things where every single application feels like if they don't add any kind of AI, it will or they will fall off. And that is something that is a little bit annoying because it ends up with them just adding a way for you to interact with chat gpt, and with all of these AI implementation, a lot of these applications become more expensive. You have to pay more for those applications because AI as of right now is quite expensive. That might change a little bit with DeepSeek and the fact that they showed that this was actually possible to do for a less amount of money, but that is like it is too early to say where this is going, both when it comes to price, but also like the whole AI battle between all of these companies. And there is just so much happening. And also the fact that these keep raising their prices, then you will end up like you have one AI subscription. Let's say you have ChatGPT to do search, just as an example. Then you have Claude because that is much better for writing. At least I like it much better for writing and marketing and things like that. Then you add another one on top. I am currently just paying for a cost, which gives me all of them. But the point is that there are so many to keep control of. I think array costs offer 30 different models for you to choose from. And I can't even choose from 30 things, let alone can I like keep track of what all of these AI applications do or AI models do and why they are good at something or what they're good at. I can't keep up. It is completely impossible. And like on top of that, um, you have something like Microsoft, which is building their Copilot with ChatGPT, and there is just so many things to keep track of. And once you figure out one thing, it feels like another thing just comes. Like you might have figured out how large language models work, then you suddenly have AI agents on top of that, and it feels like we are never getting to a point where I feel like, all right, I understand this. I have control of what everything is. Now I can choose what I want and what I don't need. And this keeps giving me and a lot of other people FOMO, fear of missing out, because you feel like you should be updated on this because everyone knows that this whole technology will be really important. It is one of the biggest in my lifetime. It is probably one of the biggest new technologies we've seen, and the last one I think was the phone, but it is one of the biggest one we've seen, at least in my lifetime, even since the internet. But that is arguable how important this is, but we all know that it is important. We know that AI will be a part of our daily lives, and you feel like you should keep track of this to understand how you can use it. But I just like listened to the Verge cast. I think it was one of their last episodes where they talked about or they asked people, how are you using AI? And it seems like a lot of people just want AI to be a better Google, because Google is terrible. Have you ever tried searching for something and all you get is SEO content? Well, I shouldn't speak too loudly about that since I create SEO content in my day job. But search is broken, search feels broken. So a lot of people actually just use it to search. That is mainly what people are using it for, people who are not really into tech. But you can also see other use cases, like I use it as a thought partner for my designs to get feedback, since I do not work in a marketing team, so I need help getting feedback on my designs from a design perspective. There are many other things like that, use cases like that. So I can see the use cases. That isn't the problem. The problem is that many of the use cases we already have something for, like Google search. We actually have Google. I know that ChatGPT is a little bit better, but I'm not going to pay 20 USD each month just to get better search. I don't want my chat application or my note-taking application, sorry, to cost more just because I can do a backslash and do like grammar checking. We already had Grammarly. You could have incorporated that. Um, so that is my issue with AI, is that it feels like all of these applications just add AI just to say that we have AI, and they market themselves as an AI company. That is what it feels like that many applications are currently doing. Then, as I said, we have a lot of good ones as well, and I think we will get more and more good ones. But my worst, like the worst thing I've seen done with AI is just giving me a way to interact with ChatGPT. If I wanted to, like, copy and pasting, pressing Control C or Command C, Command V to get something into ChatGPT to discuss with it isn't that hard. Like, I'm not going to pay a couple dollars extra each month just to do that, but I always end up doing it because I need the note-taking application. What I'm trying to say is that, one, I want them to do better when it comes to AI integration. I don't want just a way to talk to ChatGPT, already have that. That is the first thing. But there are a couple of others as well, and that is, with all of these applications adding AI with new models coming, like I took a couple of weeks to relax and pre-filmed a few of my videos, which is a terrible idea when you make videos about software, but more on that in another episode. I took 2 weeks off and I completely missed a whole new AI model. Like, I missed DeepSeek. I was very late to that one. So it moves really fast, and you feel like you can't keep up, and you probably can't, and it isn't worth trying to keep up. This thing will settle down. Maybe not this year, but it will settle down at some point. But now I've just covered some of the major things, but there are small AI applications coming out every single day. One application that a lot of people missed, and a lot of people feel, or it actually gave a few people, at least that's what I've heard, that in my comment section, that it gave a lot of people some FOMO, some fear of missing out. And that was when the application Voice Notes AI came, because it had this lifetime plan, which I purchased myself. Now it is subscription based, but that application actually used AI quite well, and it uses AI to transcribe, to summarize, to allow you to chat with your own notes, and they've done a lot of cool stuff. But uh, a lot of people missed the application coming out because there was just so much happening. Like just yesterday, from me filming this video, we had Tana launching on Product Hunt. Um, we had the new ChatGPT model. I think it was a ChatGPT Deep Research. I'm actually not sure. I forgot to write a note about it. But ChatGPT or OpenAI launched something. That was my point, and that was just yesterday. And you can think like in 365 days, it starts to get really hard to just keep up. And I think a lot of people are starting to experience quote unquote AI burnout. That may be what I'm calling this podcast episode, but I think a few people are actually experiencing it because they feel like no matter how hard they try to keep up, they just can't. It just is not possible to keep up with everything that is happening because there are just so many things happening in this space. So I think people are starting to experience that, and maybe even some people will stay away from new AI stuff for a while. I haven't heard anyone say that yet, but at some point, my guess is that people will do that. I am getting a little bit of AI burnout, or actually, I am getting tired of applications telling me that they are adding AI just to add a way to talk to ChatGPT, or even worse, copying features I've already seen. Just as an example, and this isn't the best example because I think this is a good feature that every note-taking app will have, but that is the chat with your notes. And chat with your notes is a great feature. When Mem first came out with it, or Reflect first came out with it, it was really, really cool. Then Notion did it. Then Voice Notes AI did it. It is coming to twos as well, which I am really excited about. That's not my point. Uh, but at some point, having a way to chat with your notes isn't that exciting. At some point, it is just something that we expect. Like, just take backlinking, for example. When Rome research came out, backlinking was this huge thing, linking things together, referencing notes. It was this huge, cool idea. Now in 2025, I feel like we almost expect applications to have backlinking. If you are going to be a PKM tool, I'm not talking about a second brain, I differentiate between those two, but a PKM tool, a researching tool, backlinking is almost expected. And the same goes for like when we started getting these canvas application. Like first it was just Milanote, and it was so cool that Milanote could do this. Then we now have Heptabase, we have Scrintl, we have Noti. More and more applications are coming, and at some point giving me a canvas to take my notes inside of, giving me a whiteboard, isn't that amazing. It is just something that is expected. And I think we are getting to that point with a few of the AI features. I don't think we're there yet, but give it a year and a half from now, I think some of these features are to be expected. And one other thing that makes this really hard, and that is what I'm going to wrap all of this up with, is that the problem we have with AI is that we are not sure what it is going to be. Is it going to be something that works in Google or in Windows and Apple intelligence, for example, and you can use that to get into the applications you're using? Will it be something in your browser? I know that the browser company is currently working on their new browser, which will incorporate AI. Will it live inside of your browser, or will it live inside of all of these applications? Will you have AI in Tana? Will you have AI in Messenger, AI in X? Will you have one for Apple Intelligence for your phone, one for your mail? Because that is where we are right now. You have Apple Intelligence, then you have Copilot on top. I even have Gemini in my Google Workspace. Like I have three different AIs to just just in my daily life. I have three different AIs I will need to interact with on a daily basis. So that is also something that feels like it is making it a little harder to keep track of everything because there is so much happening and there are so many companies now fighting to get to be like the best AI application, the one that everyone uses, just like Google is in search. We have Claude or Anthropic, OpenAI. You have Llama, which is from Meta. You have Grok, which is X, I think. There are quite a few. Gemini is another one. There are quite a few. DeepSeek. I could go on for a while, but there are a lot of these, and they are fighting to become the best one. So I think my point is that it is okay to be a little tired of this tech innovation AI thing. I think it is smart to take a break. You won't fall off because I don't think anything will be settled this year. I still think you have a lot of time until things start to settle. So I think my point is that unless you are someone that really enjoys it, or if you are someone that has to make content or follow along because of your job, or in my case, because you have a YouTube channel or social medias where you talk about this, unless you are one of those, it is okay to just stop thinking about AI for a while. The world won't fall apart, and won't you won't be too far behind. You will always be able to catch up when this thing settles. But I still think that it is important to like think about it, read some news about it if it comes in your feed. Don't just avoid it just because it is AI, but uh, remember that you don't have to research everything because things haven't settled yet, and at some point they will, and you will be able to catch up. That covers it for today's podcast episode. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I will try to get to them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching or listening to today's podcast.